today we are Greater Bergen Realtors members, and we are welcoming them and Cámara Costarricense de Corredores de Bienes Raíces members and Greater Bergen County Realty Association members. Our GBR Global Business Council's mission is to dedicated to globally themed education, programming, and networking. This works to build awareness of global business opportunities, both inbound and outbound. When members are educated and connecting with real estate professionals from other countries, it benefits both members. This past year has been remarkable. We have been able to develop relationships via Zoom technology and connect with agents and associations who follow the NAR Code of Ethics. We are grateful for our future endeavors with your association and connecting with your members to do global business. A little bit of housekeeping, if everyone can mute themselves. Also, the chat section will be available for any questions during this presentation, and also for everyone to know that this webinar will be recorded. At this time, I'd like to introduce Sandra Martinez, who is a member of our Global Business Council, and she was very instrumental with bringing us together through her relationship with the Cámara Costarricense de Corredores de Bienes Raíces Association. Sandra, thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. You say it perfectly. So I'm apologize. I'm gonna go a little bit personal in this. What is Costa Rica for me when I was growing up is the little beautiful country, well, a small beautiful country with 2 oceans and with a coffee that tastes like the same of my country. Similar scenery, and most important, amazing people with big heart. They're always happy, very positive. So I had nothing else to say. Great things about Costa Rica. Pura vida, guys. So today we haven't Adrián Mora, el presidente de la Cámara Costarricense de Corredores de Bienes Raíces, San José. Y también tenemos we also have, Ofelia Medina. She is the International Director of Cámara Costarricense de Corredores de Bienes Raíces. So without any more, I give you our 2 panelists today, and very, very grateful for them to be participating with us.
Adrian goes first.
Yep. I thought I was checking the agenda and I thought Mr. Jorge was to speak first, but so I start now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you.
Thank you for the honor. Well, to start this chat or this webinar, I just want to say it's so beautiful when a foreigner, well, Latins are not foreigners in Costa Rica. So it's the same language, it's almost the same culture, but it's really nice that Sandra from Colombia talked so beautiful about Costa Rica. And that's the beautiful part of this presentation, is that we are an open country, small one, that opens to the world to receive not only investors, tourists that just want to have fun, see the beauties of the beach, the rainforest, or even have some nice experience with volcanoes and all this stuff. But before I start to talk about Costa Rica now, let's have a little history lesson about Costa Rica. So you say, why history? Because if you're in your future, in your near future, we expect, we hope, you offer this country to your clients, then you're gonna know some of the most interesting reasons why to come to Costa Rica. Okay, first of all, Costa Rica was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1502 in his last voyage from Spain to America. And when he came to the beach of Limon, that's on the Atlantic coast, with all these Spanish, he discovers that the local Indians has a lot of gold necklace and all this gold stuff. And he says in Spanish, esta es una costa muy rica. In translated to English, this is a very rich coast. So that, at that precise moment, Costa Rica was given the name by Christopher Columbus. So that's why we call Costa Rica. But in the end, we didn't have gold, but we have a lot of more another beautiful things, nature and beauty of the country. And well, we become independent 3 centuries later on September 15, 1821. Next year, we're going to celebrate our bicentennial independence. So we expect that there's no more pandemic, so we're going to have a beautiful parties to celebrate the bicentennial independence. After this, Costa Rica is the oldest democracy after United States in the Americas. So we're the second next to you guys. And also, we don't have any army since December 1st, 1948. So we just celebrate 70 years without any arms, any wars, or any no tanks, nor combat airplanes. And this is a style of living that we offer to the world. And all the money that the government used to spend many years ago in the 1940s, in the 1930s, in buying guns and arms, we invest in our most important treasure, and that's education. If you come to Costa Rica, compared to other countries in the region, we have a high expectation of education of our people. And since the 30 years ago, we introduced the English language as the second most important language to learn after Spanish. And so now, since 25 years ago, many of the American corporations start to come to Costa Rica to put local or South American or Central American bases in Costa Rica as the business hub for call centers, and also to invest on real estate. Actually, Costa Rica has 2 different types. I'm not going to talk about this because Ophelia is going to explain all this, but I'm just doing the small introduction. Costa Rica has 2 different types of investments. The beach, which is most of the Americans love to invest and have a second home, and the city, which also many expatriates or Americans who decide to come to live to Costa Rica and also to work and retire here. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's Ophelia's part. To finish my presentation, we win the Nobel Peace Prize in 1987 because Costa Rica was the leader of Central America to pacify with the ideas when the war was in Central America, destroying a lot of Central American countries. And Costa Rica was the only one that was in peace. And thank God, we make this program, and after 1990, Central America become a very quiet and no war zones anymore. And Costa Rica was the beacon in the zone, and that's the reason last year 3 million of U.S. citizens visit us for tourism, for investments, and as I told you, for having fun and know the monkeys and wildlife in the rainforests, and they really enjoy to come. About our association, we were founded in 1974, so we have 46 years of existence. I became president last year, and Ophelia is the head director of international relations for more than 5 years, I think. And she is now the elected president of the CILA, which is the Confederation of Latin American, how do you say? Latin American Realtors. Thank you. And she will be very close next year with NAR, doing a lot of great deals, so we become more global and international relations with, I hope, many of United States Association of Realtors, local. We are 500 members, and we are like 10%, something like that, that are NAR members, or used to be, something like that. We start to specialize in many of your important seminars and designations. For example, this year we have 2 designations with NAR, CRS, and ABR. Last year, Ophelia organized the CRS, and a couple of years ago we have CIPS. So we start to use the same quality and same professionalism as you guys in the States to doing real estate business. And that's the objective of this presentation, of this conference, to become closer friends and open you our little Costa Rica, our little great Costa Rica to you guys. So thanks for listen to me, my bad English, but I hope you understand. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Adrian.
Well, thank you so much, Greater Bergen Realtors, especially Jorge Ledesma, who is the CEO of the Greater Bergen Realtors. Also, Catherine Houston, the Greater Bergen Realtors Global Business Council Chair, and Sandra Martinez, GBR Global Business Council member, and all of you, Jennifer, and all of you that has helped for this to become a very special event. It really is my pleasure. You know, Costa Rica is my best topic, of course, you know, and I would like to make a nice presentation, and I'm going to proceed right now to share the screen and to talk about this little great country, as my friend Adrian Mora has suggested. I have to say that Adrian has been instrumental for the global business in Costa Rica. He's been a president who has really supported, and not only the national and international education, but also something else that is quite important is the push that he has given for all the webinars since we had COVID-19 in Costa Rica. Since March until now, Adrian and our association, as well as with Alan's in the coastal areas, we had constant seminars, national and international. So this experience of being confined at home has been quite positive, because what we have done is to really educate ourselves, national and international. So I think Costa Rica is quite ready to welcome you with open arms. And I would like to have this presentation, and along with it, I have some comments on each of the things. I have this presentation that I used before, and it's called Costa Rica, an investment opportunity in today's global market. Costa Rica has 7 provinces. As you can see, is Punta Arenas, which is at the south, and then we have San Jose, where Adriana and I are, Guanacaste, with Alan Lungo, the president of the Segregaries, Alajuela, Heredia, Limón, and Cartago. There are 7 provinces, a small country, but with such microclimates, you know, we have something that is important. Costa Rica is famous for its unique tropical environment, the beauty of its flora and fauna, ideal microclimates all year round, with only 2 seasons. Green, when showers keep everything lush and blooming, and dry, when the skies are sunny and blue every day. Costa Rica does not suffer from severe weather such as hurricanes and tornadoes. There are no major fluctuations in temperature in both seasons, and the country is blessed by mountains, rivers, the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans. 75 degrees is the great metropolitan area, which is where Adriana and I live, you know, the San Jose area, which is the capital, and 80 to 90 degrees in the coastal areas. There's one place in Costa Rica, in San Jose area, in a mountain, that you can actually see both oceans. You know, this is how narrow we are. You can see the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean, and then you can see the Pacific Ocean. It's a unique thing in Costa Rica that we can see both oceans from one spot. Ecological country. Costa Rica is known for its progressive environmental policies, and it is a green country that cares for its environmental, and it is a world leader in preserving and contributing to the ecology of our planet, and ranked first in the sustainable tourism. Costa Rica was rewarded last year by the United Nations as champions of the earth. 27% of the country is parks and protected areas. Our goal is to be carbon neutral by 2023. And 93% of the country's electricity comes from renewable sources. I think I'm gonna go to it. Okay, this one here shows you what all the national parks are. And the next one is what I said, you know, by 2023, we would like to have the carbon neutral, you know, by then. And this is Reventazón hydraulic plant for clean renewable energy. It is the hydraulic plant in the Isthmus for clean renewable energy is the largest in the area. Now, this is too important to all of us, I think. The fact that location. Look at where Costa Rica is located. In the smack center of Central America, given easy access to the north and south of the Americas by air, land, and sea. So we have three ways of communicating really close to the north, to the south. So it's like we are embracing both Americas. There are two international airports, one in Alajuela, which is called Juan Santa Maria International Airport, being a convenient travel base to all national destinations, and the other is Daniel Oduber International Airport in Liberia, Guanacaste, which is the area of Alan Lungo, the coastal areas, being the gateway to beautiful beaches that line the coast, where surfing and sport fishing, shopping, and dining options are superb and plentiful. These two airports have recently, because of the COVID-19, has very strict protocols, you know, for anyone entering the country. They've done an excellent job, and then later on, I'm going to explain a little bit about it. I think Costa Rica have excelled in preparing the country from the health point of view. Okay, the next one is important. Costa Rica is blessed by having all the right conditions for investment. Political risk. Costa Rica, okay, business environment in Costa Rica, first of all. When one invests in a foreign country, one look for the risk factors and try to find the following conditions: a democratic and safe country, excel health universal system, stable, good education, good geographical location, legal security, and most important, how are the people who live there? Costa Rica is very blessed and has all those conditions. Our economy has been contracted now because of the pandemic, since most of the effort has been directed to keep the health of the Costa Ricans. Let's talk about political risk. Costa Rica is one of the most stable democracies in the world, like Adrian mentioned. No army, no wars, no revolutions, a peaceful country where dialogue is our most useful weapon. Our judicial system applies equally to foreigners and citizens alike. Our weapon is talking. We are not, since we don't have an army and we don't have none of those things, what we do is we talk. We are famous for that. We don't have an army. What is our tool? Our tool is talking, convincing, dialoguing. So this is how we bet on. And then one of the most stable democracy that I put, this to us, we are so proud of this. You know, Costa Rica has no army since 1948, and there's no army, no wars, no revolution. So that is, we are not, we don't fight that way. We just fight with communication. That's why we have the Nobel Peace Prize winner with Mr. Oscar Arias, and we achieve that by talking, by dialoguing, by bringing countries together, by agreeing, and that's very important for us. We're very proud of that sort of thing. And safety. Costa Rica is friendly and welcomes foreigners. They have the same rights by our constitution as Costa Ricans, except for voting. This is very important because a lot of people ask us, well, how do I do to come and invest in Costa Rica? You have exactly the same rights as you do the Costa Ricans, except the vote. So that's impressive and important when you want to come and invest here. Okay, the economy before the pandemic, Costa Rica had a very stable economy. Right now it's contracted, as most of every country in Latin America. The protections in the Costa Rican financial system helped to avoid severe impacts from the past financial crisis that we have in the 2008. And Costa Rica now has boosted the economy by taking positive measures and keeping the inflation low and to lower the banking interest rates. Right now, $1, it's equivalent to 602.65 colones, and €1 is equivalent to 702.38 colones as of September. As of yesterday. I took that, it fluctuates a little bit every day, but it's quite minor. They've been quite successful at keeping it stable. The high rate of education among its residents makes the country an attractive investing location. Costa Rica is looked for the high-tech investment like Intel, Amazon, and we are no longer the maquila country. We are, because as Adrian expressed it, our education is extremely important. The literacy rate in Costa Rica is 96.3%, one of the highest in Latin America. And English is spoken by most Costa Ricans, and bilingual education is taught in all schools, and some of them even add French or a third language. We have a saying, and we are very proud of this saying, that for each soldier that we do not have, we have a school. You know, it's quite impressive when you get out of San Jose and you go to the rural areas, and you always see these three things. You see the church, you see the plaza where everyone plays soccer because this is our #1 sports. You see the school, no matter where you go. And that is impressive because then you see the investment of the government on education. Education is the key thing for all of us. And then comes something that has become extremely important right now, especially because of the pandemic. Okay, wait a minute. I'm trying to advance a little bit. For each, here we have also the University of Costa Rica that is excellent, and also we have the University of Earth. The education, we have a lot of private schools too. Most Costa Ricans are non-migrant people. They go out to perhaps specialize on their formal education, but they always come back. And that says a lot for the country. You know, people like to educate, get on a specialty, or just find out other options and come back to the country. We have very good universal health system. Costa Rica has been cited as Central America's great health successful stories. It has provided universal health care for its wage-earning residents and has become a popular destination for medical tourism. Costa Rica is particularly attractive to Americans due to the geographic proximity, high quality of medical services, and lower medical cost. This is important what I want to say now. Since 2012, smoking in Costa Rica is subject to some of the most restrictive regulations in the world. We don't like the smoke and all this polluting the earth. So in public places, we cannot smoke. There are some places you can smoke privately, but publicly it's prohibited. This is something that most people do not know. Okay, here is eso. Now, the people of Costa Rica, I really find them quite unique. I was saying to Kathleen that I have lived outside of Costa Rica for 25 years because of my husband's business, and my kids were born in the States. But I always, as I was leaving my country, I always had this heartwarming feeling of our people. They really are unique. And I think this picture here, it tells you the variety of professions that we have. Is very high tech. You know, the education is extremely important. But we also combine that with our sport, which obviously it's soccer. Whoever is in the soccer business, you know, we have a famous player, Keylor Navas, which right now is with France playing with, what is the name, Adrian, of the team that Navas is playing with now?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Thank you. Okay, so we are very proud. He was before with the Real Madrid. So he's one of our good examples of a man who's done a lot for the sport, for the kids of Costa Rica. And we also mix the sports, you know, in order to be healthy and with the physical activities, the art. Costa Rica has live music every place. And we have a national theater that is a little jewel that really hosts a lot of very good art. We have a very good symphony, and we have others that are throughout the country. And that is something that is offered to the whole country. It has become, before it was kind of preserved for just some people who could afford it. Now it really is accessible to everyone in Costa Rica, so they can appreciate both the sports and the arts. And below the picture, I have the coffee growers and the coffee pickers. You know, we are an agricultural country too, even though our first industry, the main source of income right now is tourism. Of course, it's been contracted because of the coronavirus, but this is one way that that we can tell the people what we are about. And the other thing is, everyone right now, I think Sandra used our phrase, pura vida, you know. That is the most recognizable phrase attached to Costa Ricans. And it reflects the Costa Rican way of life, which means pure life. That's the literally translation of pura vida, or good life. Just to tell you what that means is a recommended response. When somebody asks you, how are you? You will say pura vida. You know, it's like, pura vida to us is like shalom to the Jewish people, you know, it's hello, how are you? Come back. This is what pura vida is to Costa Ricans. And we are now recognized like that all over the world. I'm amazed right now when I do and give my conferences internationally, when I've done it, you know, obviously physically, I find someone who yells at me, pura vida. And it's not a Costa Rican, it's somebody who's been to Costa Rica and now knows the term of pura vida. Okay. This is important, what we're going to say now. Due to the all the conditions mentioned above, Costa Rica has become an attractive places for retirees, expats, and investors. So the investment opportunities are there, the developments, commercial, residential, land, and free zones. Property types available are the developments, the commercial, residential, and land. There are a lot of opportunities to purchase in different parts of Costa Rica. Beautiful developments owned by Costa Ricans as well as foreigners. Commercial properties like business centers, malls, warehouses, and residential areas in condominiums in the form of towers and gated communities, as well as independent residences. There are excellent options at the beach in the Pacific and the Atlantic coast, as well as in the cities surrounded by mountains, valleys, and rivers. And you're going to find that these gated communities have become quite popular in Costa Rica around 15 years ago for a lot of reasons. But the main reasons because a lot of the head of the families will do a lot of traveling. So they found a fantastic way of leaving their family in a gated community where they can come and go and knowing that their families was in a place where they would have everything. So right now we can find them in the east and the west, and you can also find it any place else in Costa Rica. When you come in, any of you who have been to Costa Rica, if you arrive at the airport in Juan Santa Maria and you come into San Jose, you're going to find what we call our Central Park, which is La Sabana. You know, you just come to that intersection. To the right is La Sabana, and to the right will be the west side of San Jose, and to the east will be the east side of San Jose. It's sort of divided, but connected, of course, you know, and you're going to find different climates. To the west is a little bit warmer. It's more laid back type of living. To the east is a little bit cooler and a little bit different because it's a little cooler. You know, you can see the microclimates and also the behavior and dressing of the people from the different parts of such a small place. All right. And the free zones, this is important. I like to make this here, the commercial. Here, right here, we have two beautiful. This what says Starbucks. This is a complex in San Jose, in Escazú, where you have the residential and the commercial mixed, and you have a lot of restaurants. There's a hotel, there's a university there, and there's a lot of expansion for entertainment, and it's beautifully done. Everyone who goes there enjoys it, not only to walk around, but to shop and to see how beautifully done it has been. It has a lot of offices. And to the right, you have Forum, which is an office complex, also on the west side, which has Forum 1, Forum 2. So there's a lot of spaces for offices in the west side, as well in the east side of it. We also have the towers. You know, right here to the left is the Twin Towers by La Sabana, which is in the smack center of San Jose. That was built for a reason, in order to create all those people who work in San Jose to have the opportunity to own a place that will be close to work. To the right is another tower that has the same services and the same opportunities. And here are the gated communities. This one on top, I happen to be the sales director of this project. It's called Hacienda del Sol, and it's a beautiful gated community. And at the bottom is Cerro Alto, which is another one. And I could show you a lot more that you will be able to find in different prices. These are high-end condominiums. You know, when you will find homes that go from 600 to 2 million, and they're beautifully done and very unique homes. And this, in Hacienda del Sol, it was a unique project because we have sub-condominiums within the condominium. So we have what you call in the States the condominium within a condominium, and then you have the independent custom homes also. So it's a combination that was very attractive and quite unique at that time. That was about 10 to 15 years ago. You also have Costa Rica. The architects in Costa Rica and the engineers are excellent. We have the schools, and Costa Rica has a seismic code that is one of the best in the whole Latin America. So because we are a seismic country, we have 6 volcanoes. So the way we build our homes is quite different from the States. It's all concrete, very seldom is gypsum to divide the properties. We have them, but very seldom. But the core of the base of all the construction is concrete. Here to the left, you have a very beautiful custom home, and to the right, you have the modern constructions. You can find them both and beautifully done. You know, you find them in the mountains, you find them in the beach, and you'll be surprised the enormous the properties. And I am amazed sometimes when I go to the beach and I go into this forest areas that you can hardly see the home, but when you go into it, you see these gorgeous homes that really cater to everyone. And land, of course, land in Costa Rica is very well appreciated. You know, like I said, the government has created 27% of Costa Rica of national parks. So we are extremely important for us to look out for the environment, to make sure that the green does not disappear, that the building is sustainable, and so is the construction. So those things are important. On the free zones, I forgot to mention something for those who do not know what the free zones are. These are industrial parks or zones that have been created to attract companies to the country. The central incentives are exemptions and tax cuts. Waivers are on income tax for an initial period of several years. There are more than 325 companies in this system, placing Costa Rica in the 5th place in Latin America, generating more than 80,000 direct jobs. Okay, these are the free zones. You find them every place. You find them in Heredia, you find them in Cartago, you find them in different places, and it's amazing. Most of them are rentals. These are, you don't sell. Though I had the opportunity to be involved in the sale of one, but most of the free zones, industrial parks are for rentals, you know. And they have the offices combined with the warehouses, and they're beautifully done. They're up to date, and they cater to the worker. You know, there's one called La Lima, and there's another one in Heredia that I have visited, and it's amazing how they have prepared for the workers to be outdoors, to really enjoy it, and to make it a pleasant way to work. So this is important, you know, to make the workers feel part of the environment, part of the industrial park, and in a healthy environmental way. Well, now I think we go to what a lot of you would like to know. Signing of the papers is done only through a public notary. In Costa Rica, we have lawyers and notarios, notary. You could be a lawyer, but not a notary. But in order to close a deal in Costa Rica, you need a notary. So the purchase process in Costa Rica, how is it? Most of it is priced in dollars, at least what Adrian and most of us do. A lot of it in colones, but most of it globally, it will be in dollars. The down payment usually is about 20% of the total sale price. The closings are short. It could be done in a couple of days, sometimes a little longer, depending on the case. And we have the availability of escrow and the trust, you know. The due diligence of properties are done. Signing of the papers is done only, like I said, through a public notary, registered in the Dirección Nacional de Notariado in Costa Rica, which means National Registry or Notary Public. Assets may be owned in corporations. Selling or buying may be done by transferring shares of the corporations, what we call cession of shares. And the inscription of the properties is done in the public register, where all properties in Costa Rica should be registered and is known simply as the registro, where they are able to confirm the history or title change and determine if there are any restrictions, encumbrances, or liens. Avoiding the purchase of unregistered property is strongly advised. Don't ever consider a property for sale if it is not in the registry. This is a very important thing. The registro also offers something You know, we had that because a lot of our clients are from outside Costa Rica. So the registro has a monitoring service for a fee on any movement done on the property that is registered. That is puts a lot of people at ease because you know that any movement on your property, you will be notified. So we have that services, and we have the escrow, and we have the trust. You know, that is very important nowadays, you know, to make sure that when the investor comes to Costa Rica, is going to feel that the legal security is safe, the registry is safe, and what he's going to buy is going to be fine, and he's going to relax about it. Closing cost. Transfer taxes plus closing is going to go between 3 and 4% of the total sale of the property. Taxes in Costa Rica right now, it's, I'm going to mention generally what it is because right now the government is preparing a new tax package, so we don't know the results of it. But right now, Costa Rica tax income that is generated within the national territorial boundaries, domestic source or source income, is between 20, or regular income tax is between 25 to 30%. Though right now, like I said, there's a government proposal for a new tax package, and we are waiting for the results. I have to tell you that Costa Rica has made a huge effort, like I said, on the health of the Costa Ricans, and our economy has contracted. And because of it, you know, we have not accelerated in that as we would like. But now the private enterprise is really claiming to open up, which we have, and I will explain in a little bit how we have done it and what's available right now. So realtors in Costa Rica. Okay, that I already said. There are two real associations, and both are NAR bilateral partners. That's very important to know. Very important. Because why do I say that? Because when we deal internationally, what keeps us together is the ethical standards that we have between NAR, you know, we are associated to that. In the case of SILA, in the case of other international organizations like FIAPSI. So the Costa Rican Global Association of Realtors, which my friend Alan Lungo is president of, and the Cámara Costarricense de Corredores de Bienes Raíces, which Adrián Mora is our president, we have joined and we have made an alliance. And that's very important because we collaborate and we do a lot of things together. And this is a big plus because we join forces in order to make things happen. I will explain how different one works within the other, but right now, just let me concentrate a little bit on what the PowerPoint says. This is very important. Costa Rica referrals. To find the great real estate opportunity, it is always necessary and wise to cooperate with local accredited real estate brokers and agents in Costa Rica who are citizens or residents in Costa Rica. And I may add, not just residents, they have to be permanent residents in Costa Rica. Since we now have a law project that our association has put into Congress, and we're waiting for that, but before that, now the government, as of September of last year, has made all the brokers and agents to register to the Hacienda, to the Treasury, and to SUGEF, and I will explain that in a little bit. And we have to have a digital signature. So now what we need is the format of the law project to really define what a realtor in Costa Rica is. But we already are made out to be registered before the government, and we cannot make any transactions in Costa Rica unless you are registered to Hacienda and to SUGEF, okay? Let's see. Realtors in Costa Rica. There is one requirement to work in Costa Rica. The realtor must have legal worker status as a citizen or as a legal permanent resident, because we have different degrees of residency, the temporary one and so forth, but you cannot work in Costa Rica unless you are a permanent resident. And on this, I would like to talk a little bit of the importance of the Code of Ethics. The Code of Ethics that your association and our association are bound to in a common area is NAR. The National Association of Realtors have a very, I think, wonderful Code of Ethics that this is what binds us internationally. So when we want to deal business with you and you want to deal business with us, it's very important that when you have a referral to us, you would do it through a local agent or broker that represents that. It's quite simple. I think we have learned through all the designations that the important person in a real estate transaction is the client. If that is the common denominator and our goal for both of us, then it's common sense that I'm not going to represent the property where I don't know the country, or I don't know the property, or I don't know the customs. So I think if, for instance, Sandra sends me a referral from New Jersey to Costa Rica, she's going to be very wise to find someone, either Adrian, myself, or many others that are capable of doing so. And then when she sends that referral, I'll make it my exclusivity in order to make sure that that referral is going to be well represented, because I know the property, I know the customs, I know the country. It's common sense. It's the same thing as if I have a property that someone is stealing in the States. I will not do it unless I do it through a local realtor or agent, because first of all, NAR doesn't allow it. I have to have a license in the state where I'm going to do the transaction. So you have rules that are very, very strict. In fact, I learned through NAR in one of my expositions many years ago that in some states, you cannot get out of your jurisdiction in order to do any business, even nationally. You cannot transgrade your state, and sometimes not even internationally. So that's one point that everyone has to be aware of. But when you deal globally, this combination and cooperation has to be done very transparent, very for the benefit of the client. And the benefit of the client is someone who knows the property. There's no other way. So that's why I think we insist in this mutual cooperation so that we can get a successful business both ways. And if you guys give me a chance later on, I can tell you how we work the referrals, which I think is quite important too. We're just going to mention it here. Our association, you know, the CCBR, has presented a project that I told you before Congress to be regulated by law. Association membership is voluntarily. There is an access to MLS in both associations. We have Proxio. Since last year, the Treasury demands for all real estate brokers and agents to be registered in Hacienda and SUGEF. SUGEF is Superintendencia General de Entidades Financieras. That means that is superintendency of general financial entities, and to have a digital signature. That we must have. We cannot do nothing else unless we're registered and have all that. There's an active international real estate relation with NAR, with National Association of Realtors, with CILA, which is the Latin American Real Estate Confederation. And right now, I know this is not the subject of today, but I like to say that CILA has now, from the States, not just from Mexico to Argentina. Now, Florida Realtors have joined as benefactor members, and we are now in the process of trying to include Spain and Portugal. So our community is growing, and of course, the ideal is to, as a force, as a unity, to do business. And this is what we are trying to do, and with you also. I'm going to go before I go a little bit on this is the Costa Rica referrals. To find this great real estate opportunity, it is always necessary and wise to cooperate with a local accredited real estate broker and agents in Costa Rica who are citizens or permanent residents. I stress permanent because a lot of people get confused. You know, I'm in the process. No, 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 no. There's no process, no nothing. Until you have your permanent residence, you cannot be a working person, legal working person in Costa Rica. Referrals are global free practices and negotiable. The commission vary depending on how involved the referral agent is during the transaction. I have details, but right now I'm just going to go overall. It is generally between 20 to 30% and up to 50% of the commission received by the person receiving the referral, and the standard agreements are used. The payment of commissions related to international brokers for selling properties in Costa Rica has, this is important, 15% withholding tax that belongs to the Costa Rican Treasury, which means this 15% withholding tax is reduced from the commission payment. A lot of people ask me, well, how is that? Well, in a sale of a property in Costa Rica, there is a tax that we have to pay. So if we are sharing the commission for somebody in referral, that portion that you're receiving, which is the 50%, has to be in Costa Rica, that it is our obligation to give it to our treasurer. So I speak, and I think I have explained this, but I like to stress it because we really strongly encourage not offering Costa Rican properties in your home market without a referral partner in the country. NAR, SILA, FIAPSE, International Code of Ethics, is expected to rule in the conduct of international real estate transactions in Costa Rica. That's what keeps us together. And I think the ethics, what it is simply a protocol in which I conduct myself rightly both ways. So this has to be a reciprocal way that we collaborate. Okay, and I have this here. When you come and see them, please consider the following.
Ophelia,
A passport. Sure.
Sorry about, yeah, Ophelia, there was one particular question that I think came to this, and I just want to touch on it real quick before you move on. If you invest $250,000 in Costa Rica, does that equal to citizenship in the country?
Yes, I'm gonna talk about that. I think that's very important. If you have an investment of $250,000 of a property, you have a lot of incentives that the government is giving you now to get your residency. Yes, and that's important. You know, this is applied in different countries, and one is, and also, I think a lot of incentives are gonna come our way because our economies are really contracted, and since they are contracted, all of us have to find ways in order to incentivize the economy of our country. And I will talk to you about that in a little bit. So when you come to Costa Rica, there's a passport required, you know, must be valid for 6 months after arrival. So make sure this is always done because a lot of people get in trouble, you know, when they are due with that requirement. Money in US dollars is accepted, you know, Visa and MasterCard is preferred. Rental car companies are available. It must not be necessary for the entire visit since you may rent by day at resorts. Buy the insurance, even if you have credit cards-based coverage. Airport transfers to resorts, many available, can be prearranged. And, but quite frankly, it's not necessary, I think, unless you really want to go from one place to the others, because there's so many transportations between resorts, that sometimes it's not necessary. And of course, you know, you have the rental cars and all those things. Like I said, it's if you want it there, but it's not really that necessary. And before you leave home, you know, to bring sunglasses and suntan. See, that's very important. The suntan right now, you know, a lot of people take it for granted because we have a beautiful breeze and doesn't feel so hot. But you'll find out later that if you don't put something on, you're going to pay the price. So this is always do that, you know, because right now with the ozone and so forth, the rays are pretty strong. So I invite and welcome all of you to experience my country, and we will do our best to make you feel part of our paradise. I want to do some updates if you allow me. You guys tell me, because I'm not monitoring the time. So
No, you're fine. You're fine.
but-
It's great.
okay, all right, because I do have a lot of updated information that I would like to give you.
Excuse me, Catherine just put question to you. If you can explain how a foreigner can have a permanent residency in Costa Rica.
Yes, well, one way is what you just, Jorge said, that you can invest 250,000 in a property and you can do it. And also, there's a lot of incentives. It's like, if you want to come and invest here, you know, you can have a company, and through the company also, you can do a lot of stuff. If you come here and apply for a residency, you're going to have exactly all the privilege that a well, you don't have to be a resident, really. If you come and visit here, you have all the rights that are on our constitutions, our citizens have. The only right you do not have is voting. So that's important. Yeah. Any other questions? Because I'm not seeing the chat, so you guys have to tell me the questions, okay? And okay, I want to update you because a lot of people ask me, you know, what countries or what states and countries allowed to enter in Costa Rica. I'm just going to go through the United States because I have them from all over the world, but it'll be a lot of naming. But right now, since we are in the States, as of October 1st, 2020, the following changes will apply. In addition to the already approved states from the United States of America, residents of California, Ohio will be admitted into Costa Rica as tourists. The traveler must prove residence in one of the aforementioned states, though through their driver's license or state ID, in addition to meeting the other requirements set to enter the country. Consequently, residents from the following states have been cleared for entry: Connecticut, District of Columbia, Maine, Maryland, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Vermont, Virginia, Arizona, Colorado, Massachusetts, New Mexico, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Washington, Wyoming, California, and Ohio. And it says there, Mexico and Jamaica has been included also. So as you see, little by little, we are adding all the things. Our economy has been open. Our cases of coronavirus have increased though. So we are trying to make a balance between the health and the economy, which has been controversial between the government and the private industry. But this is how it is. I want to give you an update also on the commercial sector. And I want to also tell you, you know, within our camera, we have great members that specializes in different things. And I think one day we could also actually have like a webinar on specialties, you know, commercial, land, residential, towers, you know, because each one is different. But I'm just going to give you an overview of what's happening in that area. Commercial sector, we have the highest availability rate is 11.76% as of July 2020. Office sectors, we see a growing availability rate in some areas of the GAM. GAM is the Great Metropolitan Area, which is San Jose and the provinces around it. Mainly in San Jose and San Jose West and Heredia. Some companies have returned floors as they will maintain labor flexibility even post-pandemic. Others doing downsizing, like Walmart. Walmart just returned a couple of floors, and in Forum, you know, where you have the office, also was returned. So commercially, it's been hit hard. I think all over the world. Not the warehouses, not that, but because offices it's been affected. Very much affected. The industrial sector maintains healthy availability rates and is the most active. There are no specific numbers for the residential sectors. The most relevant thing is that there is a predominance of rentals versus purchase. Homes under 140,000 maintain an acceptable sales rate. That is what is moving rapidly. I have some charts that I could have shared with you, but it really just summarizes what I just said to you. And I would like to go now into the opportunities for Costa Rica. You know, one of the things I think I was talking to Kathleen and to Sandra as to why I feel so optimistic, and I'm sure Adrian is gonna agree with me. Adrian and I have been, I don't know to how many webinars, not only national, but internationally. And we have learned an awful lot. And it's one common denominator that I have learned. The investors will look for, who are the investors for Costa Rica? The investors will look for a place in the world where the health system is excellent and capable of solving health issues on emergencies.
Mhm.
A preferred place for his family, since they will be able to live where they want to instead of where they must, since they will be working from home. That's telemarketing or co-working. I'm sure you have experienced that. A lot of people are working out of homes, so no longer is necessary to live close to your work. Now the families, because of the pandemic, are choosing to live where the family prefers as opposed to the family must be. A home that offers a comfortable place and a space to work for home office. We're seeing the trend that the homes right now need office space more than ever before. And sometimes for her and sometimes for him, because in homes you have the working mom and the working dad. So now the requirements are the social area, but a working area for mom and dad. That has become very important. A place that has to have top technology, since it is the protagonist in all this new way of communicating, since there will be need for the phones or computers for virtual webinars or meetings. As we are doing it right now, we all realize in such a short amount of time how important Zoom and all the other means of communicating have been to us. I wasn't that technologically in tune. I'm forced to it, you know. And my kids, who are much younger, and of course they just handle this so great, they are at odds what I can do, and I'm proud of myself, but that is what made us all do. We have to be into this age of technology in order to make it, or we will not. And a place where social consciousness and respect to the environment is part of the agenda of the country. A residence where sustainable building is offered. So this is what the investors are saying to all of us around the world. Because let me tell you what I found out. The money is there. The money has not disappeared. They're holding it to see where they're going to invest it. So in our case, you know, I happen to feel that each country of us, or each state of yours, has his kindness, you know, what is good about it. Costa Rica has all those conditions, and that's why I feel very positive. I see a lot of inquiries from literally every place in the world. And is this, Costa Rica in a very advantaged position for investment because it has 6% of the world's biodiversity in our country. Costa Rica is the world leader in environmental and sustainability. The country's ideal geographical position, beautiful climate, political stability, with the oldest democracy in America, allows the foreign investor, because of our constitution, to have the same rights as the citizen, except for voting. And the human resource that is very well educated, where 8% of the PIB is invested in education. That's important. When a family is gonna actually make a move, they look for a place where the kids are gonna have good schools. And not only one language, more than one language. Costa Rica, every school has 2 languages now, either public or private. And most of the private ones, a 3rd language also. So all those things we have. So we have to bring it up and to make it happen. And one of the things that I did not talk about, but to me is passion, because our company is really at this moment trying to make an emphasis on that, is the sale of the private reserve, forest reserve areas. Why? Because not only you can get all the international bonuses and tax relief, but also being part of the environment, be an ecological tourism. Costa Rica is that. We're ecological tourism. You know, everyone that comes to Costa Rica, why do they expect? They expect to go water rafting, they want to go into the zip lining, they want to go in the horses and all those physical activities outdoors, you know, to see, go to the ocean, to the mountain, to the valley. And it's that outside that to us is extremely important. And we're green all year round. You know, in fact, Costa Rica, we're surprised when the dry season comes and we see the dry things. We don't feel comfortable. We are green. We are green. We just, we have so much variety of birds and flora and fauna every place that where you go, you have the rainforest, you have the dry forest. So you can choose in a very small amount of space of Costa Rica, all the advantages of a country that will welcome you with open arms. And the biggest assets, seriously, is the people. When you go outside of San Jose, because San Jose is a city life, like any other city. But when you go outside and you go into these places where you see the farmer there, and you for some reason go and ask for an address or something, you always come out with a mango in your hand or a papaya in your hand because they're givers. And this is what the Costa Rican people are. In fact, when you ask for directions, ask twice, because they like to help so much that sometimes they don't want to say they don't know. They might send you to the wrong place. So ask twice. So, because they want to help. And that's important. This is how we are. We are very foreign friendly. Costa Rica, I'm sure with Adrian that likes history, is going to tell you that we are multicultural. You know, we have the Spanish, of course, the Italians, we have, there's a lot of Jewish people here that are very much into the economy of the country. We have people from all over the world. And we are that. We open our doors to everyone. And that's, I think, our signature. You know, we just welcome them. They know how we are. And we're certainly not perfect, but we try to be. And this is my presentation of my beautiful country. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer them.
So Ophelia, I think you did an excellent job. I don't see any other questions in here. But I can tell you, it's I'm personally looking forward to coming down to seeing you. And it's my husband has been there, and he loves Costa Rica. He traveled throughout the country on an educational with his college at the time, a couple of years ago. So I think he's looking forward to coming back, and we look forward to working with you in the future and maybe collaborating with something with commercial. That would be great. You know, to do something for our investors here, because I see great opportunity for us having a relationship together. Adrian, I am also history. I love what you provided for us, because I think that that's important for everyone to know, about the environment and the history of the country, because that's where the heart is.
You're more than welcome. And just to remember everybody that from Newark or from JFK, there are direct flights to Costa Rica,
Yes.
just in case.
Oh, that's a good information.
Yes.
We're going. Katrina, I'm
Yes.
going with you. Pura vida. I love Costa Rica. Been there several times.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Excellent. Welcome anytime you want to come down here.
I think we're planning a trip.
I think the board should go.
Oh,
Yes,
I don't know.
yes,
We gotta
indeed,
talk
indeed,
about that.
I think
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah, one thing
kids
that I
have been.
forgot to mention, that I was going to mention or not. The way the real estate business operates in the GAM area and the San Jose area and the coastal areas are quite different. In fact, in the
That's correct.
coastal areas, they need more inventory. They
Okay,
sell faster. And in the GAM area, our inventory is higher. So in the GAM area is the buyer's market, and in the coastal areas is the seller's market. This
That's
is what I
great.
want.
yeah, we have that throughout our out area to also. And just like in Costa Rica, everyone's looking for more space.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, for
that's the thing. I mean, everyone from the COVID, you know, this is what we learned. You know, I learned also this, which I think is important for all of us, the empathy, to
Mhm.
have the client as number one, to have that empathy, to put yourself in their shoes, to really make them comfortable, because this, all of us have suffered from a friend or a relative with this horrible COVID. And when people make the decision for whatever reason to on a real estate, it's our obligation to have that empathy, which I think all of us have developed throughout all these months, you know, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add something for your members also. We have a GBR website, www.greaterbergenrealtors.com, but we also have a Global Council website, which is
Terrific.
www.njglobalrealestate.com. So we'd be happy for, you know, this is being recorded, so we're definitely going to put it out there for everyone to see. Thank
I
you
love
so
that.
much. It's a wonderful presentation, and we really look forward to working with you.
Thank
Well,
you
I
very
want to
much.
thank, I
Thank you
want to
very much
thank all,
for
go ahead.
your, oh, sorry, Ophelia.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say thank you very much for the space and the time you gave to us. And we really appreciate this. And again, thank you, and hope to see you virtually or personally in the
Yes.
near future.
I always say, remember the 4 S's: stay healthy, stay safe, stay sane, and stay connected.
I like that. I unite my thoughts with Adrian. I thank you for the opportunity. All of you have been more than nice. We have done things together in the past. I'm sure we will do it in the future. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.
Ophelia, one last thing. If anyone wanted to contact you, what's the best way?
The best way, well, through my email, you know, I'm going to write it in the chat,
Okay.
which is Ophelia info.
Adriana, if you could also add yours as well, that would be great.
Yeah, yes, of course. I'm gonna put my WhatsApp phone number also.
Okay, great.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know why. Okay.
And what we'll do, we'll go ahead and circulate this to everyone who registered, like we do most of our previous sessions, and everyone who attended. So you'll get a copy of this webinar
Okay.
as well.
For some reason, I cannot, Jorge, my chat doesn't go ahead. But in the presentation that I sent to Jennifer, at the end, you have my signature and you have all my information. You can send it out if you like.
Okay, we'll
I'm
go
just
ahead and
trying-
we'll go ahead and send it out to our membership, and we'll include your
Okay.
address if that's okay. Yours.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you again, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sandra.
Take care. Have
Bye.
a wonderful
Ophelia.
afternoon.
See you soon.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Ciao.